worked all day, minimum wage. Got no relief from the help on it page. I hate this life in every way. Me and my wife all work and no play. Now I'm out on a boat every day, having new fun, no worries about pay. Easy work while the fishermen play, watching time pass as we gently sway. I'm on the sunny side of paradise. Fishing's great, I got beer on nights. I'm on the sunny side of paradise. Life is great, love this island life. Summers are warm, winters are too. Tourists coming down instead of turning blue. Hotels are packed, the tiki bars are cool, all ready to party and dance by the pool. I'm on the sunny side of paradise. The fishing's great, I got beer on nights. I'm on the sunny side of paradise. Life is great, I love this island life. Key Largo down to Key West, the blue waters here are truly the best. So for a killer tent and a local cold beer, put your ass in the car and get down here. We're on the sunny side of paradise. The fishing's great, we got beer on nice. We're on the sunny side of paradise. Life is great, we love this island life. We're on the sunny side of paradise. The fishing's great, we got beer on nice. We're on the sunny side of paradise. 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 Get ready to cruise into a world of country music and lively conversation with the Dave Roush Show, exclusively on Cruisin' Country Radio every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join host Dave Roush as he brings you the best of country tunes, along with engaging interviews, entertaining segments, and a whole lot of fun. Whether you're a diehard country fan or just looking for a good time, tune in and let the Dave Roush Show be your ultimate destination for Monday evenings. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dave Roush Show. I'm Dave Roush, and we're live on CruisingCountryRadio.com. Cruising Country Radio is a sister station to RadioA1A.com, ParadiseRoadRadio.com, and I am live from my studio here in Ajijic, Mexico. Tonight I have the great privilege to talk with Jeneen Terrana and J. Marc Bailey, two amazing original country singer-songwriter performers touring today.
and they are the Cruisin' Country Radio Artists of the month of May in 2024. Congratulations and welcome to the show. Howdy, y'all.
Hey.
Howdy.
How y'all doing?
Thank you for that intro.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
We're doing good.
Good.
How are you doing?
Good.
I'm doing good, man. I'm down here in paradise. All right.
Yeah.
So, Jeneen, let's get logistics out of the way. And ladies first. Jeneen, please give our listeners your bio. Where are you from? Schools, college? You want to shout out to family and friends? This is the time.
Oh, sure. So I grew up in Buffalo, New York, and ever since I was little, I loved singing of all kinds. I was really, really shy. So it took a while for me to actually do those things in public. But I remember recording myself as a little girl singing Copacabana.
Nice.
And then I got really upset when my dad found the tape and was like, "Hey, that's pretty good." And I was like, "Oh," I was horrified because I was so shy. But for some reason I sing it.
Well, you don't seem shy.
I think there's like, I tapped into the other side of me. There's like a very shy part of me that wants to hide behind the scenes, and then there's this other part of me that just loves stage. So we found a little balance there later on in life. But yeah, I went to college for music, and
where was that?
Just loved every minute of it. I went to Southeastern College. I went to University of Buffalo for a year, and then Southeastern College in Lakeland, Florida. And some people say that ruined music for them, but I ate it up. I loved every minute of it. And then I started performing professionally right out of college and moved to New York City, lived there for many years, and that's where I discovered songwriting, because I had never finished a song. I had made many attempts, and then I had gone to New York for musical theater, and after getting kicked out of an acting class, I sat and wrote my first song in completion, and someone said, "Hey, that's not bad." And I was like, "Really? That's not bad? Maybe I can write songs." And then I just started writing songs and playing in cafes, and then I recorded an album, and the rest is kind of history from there. But that was not my original goal. I don't think, was to be a solo artist, but it just kind of evolved along the way.
Sometimes music doesn't dictate how we play it or where we do with it. It kind of just hits you and you go, "Oh yeah, well this works."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You want to shout out to your family, I think, say hey?
Yeah, my family, most of them are still in Buffalo. My mom is there, and lots of brothers and sisters, and nieces and nephews, and cousins in Buffalo, and I have a brother in Michigan, Ed, and then I have another brother in North Carolina, Tom. So, and a sister in Canada. They're all over the place. There's a long story there that maybe we'll get into later, but
part 2.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
so where are you at now?
I'm right outside of Nashville. I'm truly a city girl turned country. I lived in New York City for many, many years, and then I moved to Nashville in 2020 during the pandemic. And each year I incrementally go farther out into the country, and this past year I would say this is straight up country here now. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Nice. Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I've always lived out in the country. Well, I grew up in kind of on the outskirts of the city, but I've always lived my adult life kind of out, away from people. I find that I love entertaining and I love audiences, but people, they're okay, but yeah, they're people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Marc, JM, let's find out a little bit about you.
Yes, sir. Well, I was actually raised up in Utah. That's where most of my family's from, although I do have some heritage overseas, in Norway. So, actually went to college for a good portion of I did some private college over in Norway, at a school called Bedriftsekonomi. So, but I grew up mainly in Utah. My family was kind of the average family. My dad taught school, and we, chased rodeo and worked out and did the stuff in the summer and went hunting and fishing and did all that. My great grandpa was a sheep herder up outside of Park City. So he'd go and he'd like herd sheep, and he'd sit on the land. He'd homestead 20 acres, and then he'd get done with that, and he'd come back and go get the beads, and he'd come back and homestead another 20 acres and go get the beads. So by the time he passed away and he was older, he really gave a lot of land, kind of passed that on down to our family, to my grandparents, and eventually to my parents. But we had basically our entire summers and childhood and stuff was spent up in the mountains, or out kind of working and doing stuff. So
you mentioned rodeo. What did you rodeo?
I did not ride professionally or amateurly. I mean, I ride, and I've actually been on 2 bulls in my life. And the first one was a real quick experience and ended fast. And the second one, I decided I was going to do my best to try and stay on if I could and hang out for a little while. And I did it long enough to say that I'd done it. And then I realized that I just wasn't as crazy.
So you have family members at rodeo, or you just grew up around it?
I've got cousins, and then I've got aunts and uncles and stuff. My Uncle Jack ran a ranch and did stuff his entire life, so that's where we spent our summers working. And then I've got a couple cousins that rode, semi-pro.
Nice.
So, yeah. But we also, that's where we kind of spend our time during the summer, because out in Utah and out west, there's a different rodeo in every small town every weekend,
Yeah. I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've rodeoed for 25 years. So I understand, and I understand cowboying, because I don't like it. And those who do, my hat's off to them, because people tell me, well, you're a cowboy. I'm not a cowboy. I rodeoed. There's a big difference, a big difference. And I don't want to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different. So tell us.
I don't mind the cowboying part, but, and there's an allure to rodeo that you can't get away from. That's just something very special, obviously, if you've been involved with it for 25 years, but I'd rather sing about it than get busted up.
Well, I rode bulls and bucking horses, bareback broncs, and I was a bullfighter rodeo clown for 15 years. And then when I got older,
there you go.
Yeah, I started team roping. And when my wife and I met 20 years ago, I was team roping professionally. And then one day I got broke, got bucked off a horse and broke, and that was it. I was like, we went riding on our horses out in the riverbed in central Arizona, and came back, and when I got off, I said, this is it. Packed the horses up. We're done.
You're done. You're out of there.
Yeah. Now, you guys have horses?
We do. We've got a couple here. One of them's a colt, and we got Tommy. He's about 22 years old, and Tommy's he's just a sweet old guy, He's the guy that puts grandkids on, and he's just fun. And then Vlad, who is he's 2. He was a nightmare. So
stud colt.
Yeah, they're both horses, and he just doesn't understand. He's a toddler, man. That's all there is to it. He just goes crazy all the time. Probably one of the smartest horses I've ever seen in my life, but he's just obnoxious and into everything, He's
in his terrible twos.
Yeah, no, for real. Oh my gosh. We'll wake up in the morning, and we came in one morning, and Jeneen's looking out the kitchen window, and she's like, why is Vlad next door on Marco's lawn, hanging out over there? That's like, You never know. He'll come to the front door. He'll break out of the pasture and open the front door and make sure, he's available for breakfast for us. So.
Right. So do you have pasture out there, or?
We do. We got a barn and it's not big. We got about 11 acres out here.
Nice. It makes it nice because, people always, I want a horse. Yeah, horses are great, except they're expensive.
Yeah, and we travel a ton. So, there's a lot of challenges with that.
Right. You can't just take off and leave if you don't have someone to feed and water your horses.
Well, yeah, and lucky we kind of are more of the caretakers of the horses than we are having to deal with them all the time in the owner situation. We've got a lady named Jeneen Brown who keeps the horses here, and
nice.
she's really good with them, takes care of them.
Nice. Jeneen, tell me a little more about.
Sorry, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, Jeneen, tell me a little more about yourself. I know you said you went to college, but what'd you do for fun? Did you just write music and play?
What did I do for fun growing up?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I feel like when I was in New York, there were so many things to do, and they probably were all music or theater related. I really had a strong love of theater growing up, and that was my whole reason for moving to New York in the first place, was to pursue musical theater. So I went to see a lot of shows. I took dance classes. I loved that. I loved taking acting classes, and I auditioned for tons and tons of shows, and I've written a couple of musicals. But I would say, like, for fun now, it's probably go see a movie or do something like that that's not music related, just to do something a little different.
Nice and dull. Just kick back.
Yeah, read a
and
book.
Veg. Yeah.
Those kinds of things.
Well, we turn.
Take a bath. I don't know.
Yeah, we turn ourselves on when we get on stage, and we're still the same people when we get off stage. There's just that extra little kick that entertainers do. You gotta play to your audience. And that's what I like about being an entertainer. And I really love this show that I'm doing right here because I get to talk to such diverse people, and it's really cool to hear your stories, and for our listeners to hear your stories, because they don't usually get to hear that. They hear, I do this, I do that. Now, here's the big question. Here's the biggie.
Uh-oh.
Who found who?
Who found who?
Who what?
Who found who? Did you meet on stage? Did you run into each other at the grocery store? Or, my wife and I met on a dating app 20 years ago.
They have those?
Was it eHarmony?
Actually, it was equestriansingles.com.
Equestriansingles.com. That is awesome, man.
That is amazing. You want to be really specific. That's really cool.
She wanted a cowboy.
Farmers only.
Oh, yeah, no, hell no. She wanted a cowboy, and I wanted some security. She was in her last year of getting ready to retire out of the Navy. So we kind of married on I proposed after 30 days, and we got married.
Wow. Oh, my goodness, wow.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so,
that is so cool.
You guys are avoiding this question.
I'll answer this one.
Oh, man. Right on. No, so we'll try and make this really short, as short as you possibly can. I was touring and working and living out west and stuff like that, and I went through a period where I had to step away from music and just focus on, being dad, and went through a divorce and moved out to North Carolina to take over for an entertainment company out there. And we would do these big events in the big arenas, and down in Miami and the Miami Heat Arena and Greensboro, North Carolina, all these different places. And the company was, an entertainment level, I guess you could say, a division of a much larger company. So, and Jeneen was one of the artists that worked with that company. And so she would come to these big events, and she sang, we had her sing the national anthem one year, and she sang on main stage in front of, 25,000, 30,000 people down there. another year just doing some of her songs and some of the shows and stuff. So we were always kind of there, you know what I mean, going back and forth. And we knew each other, but we hadn't spent a lot of time together. And that was clear back in 2013 or 2014. And I was with that company for, almost 8 or 9 years. And so we kind of got to know each other through that whole process. But I mean, I can say this now, but I didn't say back then, but I was head over heels years before I said a word to anyone, you know? And, yeah, so finally I moved back over to Nashville, and she moved back over to Nashville during the pandemic. And I'm fast forwarding past a lot of stuff, and we were here just kind of working on stuff together and recording and touring and doing stuff, and over time, and it was probably, I don't know, I mean honestly, we didn't even have the conversation about it. I was scared to death to tell her how I felt, and so it just went a really long, I mean, we've been out on the road and traveling and doing all kinds of stuff for a very long time before I gained the courage to actually say something. So, yeah, I finally told how I felt, I think, and then I had to hold on forever and get nervous and figure out where she was going. But I'm still talking her into it.
You talked her into it. I like that. You're a heck of a salesman.
That was a good rendition of what happened.
Yeah. Is that how it happened, Jeneen?
There's a lot of years in there.
Right.
A lot of years. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the good thing is we got to know each other really well before we ever got together. So we kind of knew each other inside and out. Like we had been through the most stressful situations, the no sleep, the travel delays, the all the things that could, when you've seen people in every situation and have that friendship, but sometimes it can transition into more and sometimes it can't, but it worked really well, I think, to our advantage because we knew exactly what the other person was about and were able to, pretty seamlessly transition over to dating. So it was really nice to know somebody on that level and deciding to date them as opposed to not knowing anything and really wondering daily what you're getting into. So that was really
you had done
special,
something.
I thought.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Really,
I mean,
yeah.
you guys are together and you're both entertainers. That has to be fun.
Honestly, Dave, it's amazing because Jeneen was talking about it today. Our day was today. We got up and not only do we tour together, so we made a decision after coming out of COVID that instead of having to go out and try and front the band and do this and get everything together and put all that out on the road for all the shows and stuff, we could be very busy because we're both songwriters and we both record together. And go out and play the music and sing together and stuff like that. It was like, well, take this acoustic duo on the road for the year or two after COVID. And it's nice. We can, we grab our guitars and gear and hit an airplane on Thursday and we're back in Nashville on Sunday. And we don't have to take a lot with us and we're able to really put our best foot forward and give a good performance with it without. And then, you've got days like today where we woke up today and and the other thing is we work inside Dawn Country Cowboy hats together. So Jeneen, I run operations and she does marketing. And so our life really revolves around cowboy hats and country music. I mean, that's what we do every day, day in, day out, And so today we woke up and did some marketing and some work for Dawn Country and then got ready and hit the road and went to the studio and recorded some vocals and did some stuff down there with Buddy, our producer, and then got to talk to you and come home. That's what our day consisted of. So I don't think either one of us take it for granted or look at, get horse in the mouth, because it is pretty special to be able to do this with somebody that you love and, somebody that has common focus and, common values.
Nice. Yeah. Your 9 to 5 is whenever you want to. And that's cool because lots of people have to go punch that clock and they're in and out all day long. And musicians get to write songs, get to do stuff. How far are you guys out of Nashville?
We're just not quite. We're about 45, 50 minutes outside of Nashville. And that in and of itself is really nice because, if we're on the road or if we're around people 24/7, you do that too. And when you're done, you're done. And it's nice to come home to a place where, our nearest neighbor is a ways away and things are quiet. And, we don't have to worry about nobody comes to knock on the door because nobody comes this far out in the country. And,
Once in a while they do. Once in a while, the people will knock on your door.
Yeah, no.
They're just determined.
So, except usually it's our manager, Robert. He's usually the one that's knocking on the door. It's Sunday morning, he's like, hey, what are y'all doing?
That's got to be determination because to come that far out and knock on somebody's door, especially a stranger, that's like, you got some cojones,
Yeah, he's tenacious. That's all I'm going to say, man. That dude gets it done. But, yeah, it is because, like this year, I don't know if we talk about this on the radio, but we will. We got Jeneen, our first shotgun, and she's out there shooting and, getting it done. And, I mean, when we say that she's more cowgirl than most cowgirls I know that have been in it all their life,
Nice. Coming back to Jeneen, let's dive into your music a little bit. I've got loaded up and ready to go. Calling My Bluff. Would you give us a little rundown on Calling My Bluff, how you wrote it, and what was the inspiration?
Yeah, it seems like most of my music has some kind of theme around love and heartache, and sometimes otherwise. But that song in particular was just about the early stages of a relationship and wondering, there's that point where you're wondering, is it okay? Like, are we doing this, or are you just gonna, take off, or you're gonna find something out about me that you don't like, and then it'll be over. So it's just kind of like that whole feeling when you're hopeful, but you haven't fully jumped in yet because you're still kind of waiting to see if this thing is real. So that's the story behind that song. And this song is really special because I got to record it twice. So the first recording was in Queens, New York, where I used to live, and a friend of mine produced it in his home studio. And then when I moved to Nashville, I re-recorded it. And the sounds are completely different. I love both the recordings, but I really loved the song and wanted to just get a different take on it. So the one you're hearing is the Nashville recording. So it's pretty sweet.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here is Jeneen Terrana on Calling Your Bluff.
Thought you'd be chickening out by now. Are you calling my bluff? You keep hanging around here, still not giving up. Please don't make this hard on me. Please don't make this tough. If you wanna leave, then leave, babe. If you stay, I might think this is love. If you stay, I might think this is love. If you stay, I might think this is love.
All right. That was Jeneen Terrana calling your bluff. Calling my bluff. That's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Your voice is amazing.
Well, thanks.
Harry warned me. He didn't warn me. He said, this girl can sing. I heard your songs on the radio, but man, you know, the bridge in that song is really cool.
Wow, thank you. And it was really special to have it, you know, do it here in Nashville and really have them capture the essence of the song, and also be able to just strip it way down in certain parts and, you know, let it breathe and have those moments. So that was really nice.
Yeah, when you break that down and just kind of ease out of the song, it's like, wow, yeah, it draws you in. Sometimes you have to talk quieter to get them to listen to you.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Yeah. You know, you can turn it up all the way and people will still keep talking, but if you just turn it down a little bit, well, they come alive. They're like, hey, what the heck are you talking? What'd she say?
Mhm.
All right, Marc J.M. Let's talk about your song, Hang On a Little Longer.
Okay. You had to pick that one.
Well, okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Because I'm looking at your
Yes,
songs
yes,
here,
yes.
and I'm looking at your songs. They hang on a little longer, unbroken. You know, yeah, sounds like your rodeo career.
Pretty much. Short-lived.
So hang on.
No, hang up. Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
I said, hang on a little longer. Is it a rodeo song?
Sure. So the way that came about is that was written together with myself and Britt and Cameron here in town. I went in the studio that day and we knew we were working on basically kind of like a 3-song EP at that point. I'd just come back into country music and, I basically had a record label that came and said, you know, by the time that was happening, I was up there in age. I was like 48, 49, and I'd been away from it for over 10 years, even after we'd had some songs on the radio and out touring with everybody you can think of. And they said, well, you know, we love this one song that you got. Do you have any more like that? And I said, I honestly haven't picked up guitar in years, and I've got a few songs I've written, a few things I've done. So I sent him over a few what we call work tapes or demos off of YouTube. And I thought, wow, that's the end of it. I won't hear anything more from them. And they got back to me really quick, like in 20 minutes, and said, hey, how soon can you be in Nashville? And I was living in North Carolina at the time. And I said, I can come over tomorrow. And so I came over and sat down with them, and they said, we love the music. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your career right now? And I said, well, you know, I mean, this is kind of a young man's game, even though country is a little bit more open and lenient when it comes to that. And I said, but, you know, maybe I should just really throw my hand in the ring and see about writing some stuff and working on some things. I'd love to have some songs published and picked up and recorded and stuff like that. And I said, well, we think that's a great idea, but we feel like right now country music is lacking authenticity and it's lacking experience and a bunch of other things. And they said, we feel like you sing your songs as well as anybody we could potentially pitch them to. So we'd like you to record them and we'll get behind the 3-song EP. So that's what happened. And so I went in the studio. I had 2 songs ready. I mean, we had a bunch of songs ready, but I had 2 songs that I felt like were strong and ready to go. And one of them was I Can't Stop You. And the other one we had, anyway, a few of them. So Hang On a Little Longer wasn't written. I said to Brittany, you know, I need something that goes back to my rodeo rock and roll days with Crystal Dew and my, you know, just kind of that whole feeling and stuff like that. And he said, all right. And he goes, or, I said, oh man, here we go. I don't even know if I can say it on the radio, but he's like, or we could write something about, sex. And I said, what? How did we go from those two things over here, And knowing Britton, that was just the way Britton rolls, and he's funny as heck. And so we wrote Hang On a Little Longer. And if you listen to it, there's definitely a double entendre there. You got to hang on to that bell in rodeo for sure. And
the 8-second ride. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's other things in life that hopefully you got to hang on for that maybe you should hope for longer than 8 seconds, I guess. I don't know what to say to that, but anyway.
This is streaming radio, JM.
My mom's gonna. No, I know. My mom's gonna hear that and go, "What?"
Yeah, if your mom's listening, Mom, please don't pay attention right now. We're talking yeah. It's a rodeo song.
We've all talked about the song. It's hilarious. But it's hard to play it live acoustic, but man, when the band gets behind it, they love that song. It's just fun.
Well, let's put it on, everybody. Hang on a little longer.
I've been to San Antonio, Santa Fe, and back to Salt Lake. Pecos, Texas, where I've got an ex named Kate. Buckle bunnies in about every state, but none like the one that takes my breath away. And I'm all hung up, and I can't let go. I got a cowgirl I can't break. She's my leather gripping, double kicking freight train. I'm always a goner when she calls out my name. If she does that thing, man, the bell's gonna ring. If I can hang on a little longer, oh yeah. Hang on a little longer, oh yeah. She can rope and ride and hit the dirt, chasing cans, take a lick and keep on ticking like a man. Double sleeping sundowner and a horse named Sam, bought with her prize money back in old Cheyenne. And I'm all cinched up, ready to go. Yeah, I got a cowgirl I can't break. She's my leather gripping, double kicking freight train. I'm always a goner when she calls out my name. She does that thing, man, the bell's gonna ring. If I can hang on a little longer, oh yeah. Hang on a little longer, oh yeah. Cowgirl I can't break. She's my leather gripping, double kicking freight train. I'm always a goner when she calls out my name. She's my leather gripping, double kicking freight train. Yeah, I got a cowgirl I can't break. She's my leather gripping, double kicking freight train. I'm always a goner when she calls out my name. Bell's gonna ring. If I can hang on a little longer, oh yeah. Hang on a little longer, oh yeah. Hang on a little longer, oh yeah. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on.
All right. JM, that's a kick-ass song, man.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate that.
I'm like,
I'm like hitting the button trying to say, yeah.
I knew I picked that song for a reason. Being a rodeoer, yeah, that's a great song, man. Yeah, I think, and
Thank you.
the audiences they love it too, don't they? They get involved.
Live, they really do. For playing with full band, they really love that. And we just released the radio version of that. So we've got the initial recording of it, which is great, a few years back. And then that's the new, I think you just said the new radio version. So.
Well, you know what? I think everybody likes it. All right, let's move along. Let's talk about one that you guys did together. It's Bring the Love Back. Who started that song?
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, part of the story that he skipped over earlier was that we had, the thing that made us start collaborating was we had done the show together. We had been working with this entertainment company, like he said, and I saw him at events, and we were at this one event, and his backup singer had canceled and couldn't show up for a big show that we were doing, and he asked me to do some backing vocals for him, and we had like 24 hours to get this ready. So he gave me a bunch of songs to learn, and I'm going
to interrupt here for just a minute. So we're going to how she straight up jumped in and nailed those harmonies in nothing flat. It was amazing. But more than that, by the time the second song was up on stage, I had pulled her microphone all the way up to the front. And I'm like, this girl is not a harmony singer.
Right?
I mean, yeah, no way. And so I looked over, and we were doing original stuff that night and covers as well. And we were getting ready to do Folsom Prison because I am a Johnny Cash fan. And I said, you want to take the second verse? And I was praying that she would. And she's like, yeah, man, I got it. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then she just took off from there. I mean, and something crazy happened that night. So anyway, I'll step out. I just had to tell you.
So when we finished that show, we definitely felt some chemistry there that that wanted us to, like, people said, you guys need to record something together. Like, everyone who would watch that show were like, you guys need to do a project together, something. You need to do something together. And we had never sung together before, so we're like, well, maybe there's something to that. Maybe we should write some songs together. And a few months went by, and we would send things back and forth here and there that we had been writing and working on. And I was living in New York at the time. He was in North Carolina, and he said, hey, I'm going to Nashville. This was a few months later. Hey, I'm going to Nashville in February to record and do some shows. Do you want to, meet me there and do some recording and, and some shows there? And there's another long story I have about Nashville, but I was mugged in Nashville many years ago, and I swore Nashville off because I lived in New York City for 20 years and was never physically assaulted. And I was in Nashville for a day and a half, and I was mugged. So
she wasn't like sort of mugged, like they mugged her well,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I don't really do Nashville. That's not my thing. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just putting it out there, and I was like, man, I really want to go though. I really want to see what this is all about. So I decided to go. And the minute I made that decision, it was probably like January 2020. And I was laying in bed that night, and right as I'm dozing off to sleep, this melody came into my head, and I shot up out of bed and put it in my phone. It was like mumbling this melody. And the next day I was walking, I had an acupuncture appointment, and I was walking to it, and like all these lyrics are coming to me, and I'm recording it like a crazy person on my phone while I'm walking. And I sent him a demo later that day, and I was like, hey, this could be a really cool duet. What do you think? And he like immediately texted me back and said, oh yeah, we're recording that song.
I was on a treadmill. In Miami, and I was like, that's where I should definitely spend a lot more time. Not necessarily in Miami, but on the treadmill. And I was like looking out over the ocean and stuff like that. And I put my headphones in. I got through the first verse and chorus, and I'm like, oh yeah, Yeah, we're recording that.
Nice.
So I did go to Nashville that February, and we recorded the song. It was the first duet we ever sang together, and Britt and Cameron and Marc helped tweak that song. There was a few things that we changed around and some lyrics that we added when we were in the studio, and we recorded that song. That was my first Nashville recording, our first duet, and then 4 months later I moved to Nashville because I loved Nashville so much, which is so ironic. But that's the whole story behind Bring the Love Back. It was an idea that came in the middle of the night, one night, and just grew arms and legs.
You lived most of your life in New York City and never got mugged, and you go to Nashville and get, shame on you, mugger. Shame on you. I hope you're listening.
Broad daylight, too.
You want to say something to him? He's probably listening.
It was 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We were checking out of a hotel. I was there with a friend of mine. He punched me in the face, ripped my shirt, and took my purse. And there was somebody waiting in the getaway car, and they drove away. And, I don't think they ever found the guy. And there was nothing in the purse. It wasn't like he got a bunch of my stuff or anything. But it was just like, after that, I was so turned off by Nashville. I was like, what's the big deal with Nashville? We used to joke about Nashville all the time. Because I was like, it's like a street and a half. What's the big deal with Nashville? And I hate Nashville. And then next thing you know, I visited in February, and like July, I'm living here.
Nice.
It's just one of those funny life things where you're like, never say never, because it's not, it's not all up to you. There's a plan unfolding. There is.
Well, let's let the listeners listen to this. It's Marc and Jeneen Terrana, Bring the Love Back.
There are times when I was hurtful, at times unkind. There's so many things I should have said. Baby, I was blind. But all this time without you, I've come to realize that my life just ain't worth living if you're not by my side. Come on, baby, bring the love back, 'cause it's lonely and I need you. Come on, baby, bring your love back to me. Come on, baby, bring the love back, 'cause it's lonely and I need you. Come on, baby, bring your love back to me.
There were times when I was stubborn, times when I got mad. I took you for granted, gave the good with the bad. And every night's a struggle, alone with my pride. Life just ain't worth living without you by my side. Now life just ain't worth living without you by my side.
It's lonely and I need you. Come on, baby, bring your love back to me. Come on, baby, bring the love back, 'cause it's lonely and I need you. Come on, baby, bring your love back to me. And have I ever told you you're beautiful? You're beautiful.
You make me wanna be a better man.
I know I'd be lost without your sweet touch. I miss it too much. Come on, baby, bring the love back, 'cause it's lonely and I need you. Come on, baby, bring your love back to me. Come on, baby, bring the love back, 'cause it's lonely and I need you. Come on, baby, bring your love back to me.
Well, you guys compliment each other well.
Thank you.
Yeah, what a great song. What a great song.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was sitting here listening to it. I know you guys can't hear it, but I got a little trickle of it in there so I can kind of get a good hearing on it. And that's, Bring the Love Back. You guys do a cover that
we even got them.
Yeah. Yeah. We got 7 minutes left, and I want to talk about, I think it's probably your best duet. That's Soundtrack of Our Lives. And
all right.
I really like it. I mean, I like Bring the Love Back, but Soundtrack of Our Lives really hits home with, I think, a lot of people because they've all been there, done that, packed up, moved, gone. Oh, God, I've done it so many times. But, yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. That was actually pre all of us moving to Nashville. Jeneen moving and me moving and two of our other friends moving and just kind of everybody doing exactly that. I mean, you don't know what you're in for, but it's like trust the process and hope for the best, and here we go, So that was, and that one is really fun to sing. I mean, all the duets, we've got a new one that we'll have to send over to you and let you listen to that I think you'll love too, and it's called Everybody Loves a Cowboy. I feel like these duets and Soundtrack for sure. Soundtrack's one that works with the band and without the band. I love doing that one live acoustic. So I feel like that one just translates and people really seem to understand it and relate to it,
Absolutely. Jeneen?
Yeah, it's funny because J. Marc wrote the song and he sent it to me one day. We would text songs back and forth when I was living in New York and he was in North Carolina. He texted me that song and he's like, "What do you think? Could this be a duet?" And I was like, 100%. Let me throw a little harmony on there and send it back to you. And I recorded something and sent it back to him. And then we recorded it. And every time I sing it and every time I hear it, it takes on new meaning because it's like, well, first, our first big move was coming here. He came from North Carolina. I came from New York. We weren't together at that time. And then, later I moved again and then I moved here and it's like, and then we're on the road together traveling and it's like, I'm always finding new meaning with that song and falling in love with it in a different way. And I just think that, it means it's just one of those that evolves and means something different every time I sing it. So it's really special, sweet song.
Cool. Well, here's Soundtrack of Our Lives.
The only regrets we'll have from yesterday are the chances that we didn't take. So follow me away from all you know. You're scared to death and I'm scared to show it. As the road keeps on rolling, farther from the place that we called home. It's all static on the airwaves out here. But if you listen close, the music's loud and clear. The sound of restless wheels against the road, a U-Haul truck that's overloaded, and trains bigger than the western sky. Melody of bigger plans in harmony with second chances. Listen to the song that you hear tonight. 'Cause this could be the soundtrack of our lives.
I write the verse and you write the chorus as the road rolls out before us, past the bridges that we traveled on. When our rhythm's just a bit off time, the key is wrong and the words don't rhyme, we might just find the perfect song. From here on out, it's
bigger than the western sky. A melody of bigger plans in harmony with second chances. Listen to the song that you hear tonight, 'cause this could be the soundtrack. The only regrets we'll have from yesterday are the chances that we didn't take. So follow me away from all you know, to the sound of restless wheels against the road, a U-Haul truck that's overloaded, and dreams bigger than the western sky. A melody of bigger plans in harmony with second chances. Listen to the song that you hear tonight, 'cause this could be the soundtrack of our lives.
Wow. I want to thank you guys for being on the show today and enlightening us with your wonderful stories. And I hope I can bring you back on the show again.
Oh, we would love it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on and spending time with us. It's been really nice.
Absolutely.
And Dave, I'm sneaking you over, if you check your text message, we're sneaking you over a preview of Everybody Loves a Cowboy. I just sent that over to you, so we'll have to
cool.
think about that. It's not even out anywhere yet, so.
Really? Well, let me know when I can roll it.
It's not finished.
All right, I'll listen to it.
It's in the final mixing stages, but
Nice.
it'll be done soon.
You guys hang on right now. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to close the show out, and then I'll chat after we're done. All right? Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you. Well, thanks for cruising along with us on the Dave Roush Show today. Don't forget to catch us every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Mexico, on Cruising Country Radio, where the best country music meets engaging conversation. If you missed an episode, don't worry. We replay the episodes on Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until next time, keep the music playing and the good times rolling. See you next Monday on the Dave Roush Show. Well, that's all for me in Mexico. Thank you so much for listening. And I want to give another thanks to Jeneen and Marc for coming on the show. Thank you. We'll see you next Monday.